It's been one of the weirder, more surreal experiences of my life because, as a reporter, you're always kind of banging away to try to get one little piece of reality, right? Like you might make 30 or 40 phone calls to get one sentence. The Twitter Files is, oh, by the way, here, take a laptop and look at 50,000 emails, full of all kinds of stuff. And so it's, for somebody like me, it's like a dream come true.
That was journalist and contributing author of the Twitter Files, Matt Taibbi, on Monday's episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, talking about his expose that uncovered the truth about the FBI and Twitter colluding, so-called Russiagate, and media's efforts to shelf the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Taibbi caught some heat, particularly from liberals, for his expose and his defense of Twitter CEO Elon Musk, a point that podcaster Joe Rogan honed in on, calling out those who have sought to demonize Musk since he took over the platform. Let's watch.
With Elon, he went from being the guy who made electric cars sexy to something to the right of Viktor Orban in like 10 seconds. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And the narrative is spread through progressive people. Well, they'll just say it now. It's like they've reached the memo. The memo's got to them. And then I hear people in LA, I hear people that I know, like, oh, Elon's just so crazy. It's like something happened to him. He went nuts and he's a right-winger now. Like, how? What are you saying? Like, what examples do you have? Like, they don't have an example. They just have this narrative that reached them as signal. Like, Elon bad now. Oh, right. Elon bad now. Elon bad now. Elon bad now.
I mean, I think they think that because he has, in all fairness, said, right, he wants Republicans to win.
Said that.
Yeah, he has endorsed Ron DeSantis.
I mean, and that's fine. Like, Joe Rogan also said he would probably endorse Ron DeSantis. Like, he was leaning toward Ron DeSantis, right, that he likes the look of Ron. You're allowed to say those things, but don't pretend that liberals who have liberal politics, who liked when Elon Musk came to also have liberal politics, are no longer like that he has Republican politics.
I think there has been a lot of, I'm not sure they stated it there very elegantly. There has been a lot of, he's a fascist, he's the worst thing to ever happen.
Sure, they make that argument.
But he's a Republican figure.
Yeah, they just sound just as sloppy and unhinged and irrational in their criticism as liberals who call Elon Musk a fascist. Like, everyone throwing the maximalist complaint at each other has absolutely nobody responding to the actual criticism at hand. Not to mention that, as we've been talking about, a lot of people who were hopeful that Elon would actually improve the experience on Twitter, ourselves included, people who felt like we were disadvantaged by the previous regime, that we wanted more transparency, that we felt like there was shadow banning and blocking of people that we didn't necessarily agree with, have not had any of that transparency come to fruition. And moreover, we've had new rules implemented that actually make the user experience less good.
We were going to talk about this in a later segment, but I think we should probably just talk about it here. Yeah, he had these, it sounds like he made some changes in the wake of the Super Bowl. There's been reporting that he was frustrated that his tweets were not performing as well.
Specifically that his Super Bowl tweet did less well than Joe Biden's Super Bowl tweet. So,
which, whatever, it's his company. If it's just a platform for Elon to broadcast his thoughts, okay. But that's obviously not what I was hoping to get out of it. I've been very frustrated with the experience on Twitter lately. It now seems worse than the before times, even because something is broken about the recommendation for the For You tab. I don't see content from the kinds of people I want to see from any. Like I used to see, I would get the highlights of my colleagues at Reason, people I really like in the media, Jesse Singal, Matt Iglesias, Josh Barro, writers whose work I like to engage with every day. Twitter would make sure I'd seen the most, Nate Silver, there are just people, Ross Douthat, people I read.
We consume different content.
Right, yeah, that's not all,
But no, I get what you're saying.
But now I don't see them anymore. And the point being, previously, I liked seeing those things. And Twitter clearly knew me well enough to know what I wanted to see more of. And now I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing things I want to engage with. And that's crushingly disappointed because the last thing of value Twitter was for me, because it's not been a good it's not been good for drawing traffic to videos or written articles. That's something I've complained about a lot. So the last thing it was good at doing was being like a curated news feed of things I didn't want to miss to stay up to date in the conversations. Absolutely. And that's not happening anymore. So fix that, Elon. Please, I'm begging you, fix it. Or it's just I'm just not going to be on Twitter anymore. It's not going to have any value.
Absolutely. It's a bizarre thing to want to, or to put your own ego in front of your business interest. Then the one thing, one of the maybe perhaps bad faith critiques you can judge of Elon Musk was that he wasn't a really good businessman anyway, and people who liked him and defended him said, well, no, he didn't just buy Tesla, he actually did things that made it a better company than it was before. People that were liberal would say, oh, you just inherited this money from your parents' diamond mines, you're not really an innovator, and people would say, well, no, here are all the things that he's done. And that is a debate that's as long and old as Elon Musk has been in the public eye. However, the way he's handling Twitter seems to suggest that, at least in this context, there's some real significant criticism for how he's running this particular business.
Yes, and that might be an exception for Twitter. It seems like, right, we talk about, he has joked about how much of his time it's consuming. This is like a product that he really enjoys, which is different than having some ideas about what its business model should be or how it should function, and it being, maybe he should be a customer, but not necessarily the owner, or an owner, but not. I mean, even he said he shouldn't be the CEO. What happened to someone else being in place to actually manage and run it? Like, let's make that happen.
I don't know. He tweeted a picture of a Shiba Inu out the other day, saying, "This is the new CEO of Twitter."
Yeah, he's.
That's as far as I think we've gotten on that.
He tweeted a photo of like Stonehenge is the person's toes, and the Easter Island head is the person's head, and there's a person under. Like, it's a joke. But why? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really so important that we all consume.
I mean, even Elon Musk super fans are complaining about the fact that their feed is entirely Elon Musk. I don't know what to do with that. And so to have that be the case, to have such a frankly diverse body of criticism about what's been going on with the app, with Elon Musk as an individual, et cetera. Not to mention, by the way, to the extent that he's running this as personal fiefdom, there have been signs of that the whole time. I've been talking about them the whole time. The fact that he chose to ban Alex Jones because he experienced a personal tragedy that Alex Jones, triggered. The fact that he banned people like Kanye West that weren't violating the Twitter guidelines per se, but because it was a bad look for him. On and on and on. It's all been about his personal proclivities and not at all about the best user experience for everybody else. Okay, that being the case, to have such a diverse, like over the last month, so many different kinds of people with so many different kind of politics having an issue with how the site is being run, and to then have Matt Taibbi and Joe Rogan, whose opinions matter, whose work people respect, who kind of present themselves as relatively neutral, and I think they do represent some kind of like middle political ground in the United States, not be willing to engage at all with all of these diverse criticisms starts to make them seem like the exact kind of fanboys and one-dimensional thinkers that they have spent their careers critiquing. And that's regrettable, and I hope they change course.
Yeah, I think you're right that Elon is actually getting it's friendly criticism. Yeah. It's not mean-spirited, but like, what's going on here? I count myself in that camp. I'm glad the Twitter files exist. I hope they continue to exist. There's more to learn still. I think it's tremendously important what Matt Taibbi and others have done. I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful to Elon for facilitating it. But we just, like, the way it is now is not good. And everyone can see that.
Would you rather have old Twitter and no Twitter files, or is the disclosure worth the destruction of the app?
I think the disclosure was worth it, yes.
Well, let's see if Elon Musk and his $44 billion investment feel the same way.
More Rising right after this. Stay with us.